Legends of mysterious creatures have existed for centuries, leaving people wondering what truly lurks in the shadows. But what happens when cameras capture these cryptids in shocking detail? From strange, unexpected sightings to dangerous and deadly attacks, here are 30 largest cryptids and creatures ever caught on camera. Imagine walking along the rocky edge of the bay when a dark shape catches the corner of your eye. It lies half buried in wet sand, glinting faintly under the salt-streaked wind. Every wave brushes closer, as if trying to pull it back.
Is that a shark? I'm in San Francisco, right by the Golden Gate Bridge. And I just found this thing on the beach.
The tourist bends near, unsure what he's seeing. Bone-like ridges twist into a shape no map could name. A tail curves outward, the head broad as a hammerhead, mouth open in a silent snarl, salt dripping through its hollow frame.
It smells so bad. Looks like some fishing line got caught in its gills.
Some say the tide hides things the ocean never meant to return. Maybe this one came back too. What if you wandered into the woods one evening and felt something there before you saw it? The stillness seemed aware, branches trembling without wind. A dull rhythm echoed somewhere between tree trunks, like a knock waiting for an answer.
See two individuals actually having an altercation over this set of tires.
You record everything. Soft knocks, heavy breaths, a shape that flickers through the branches. Hours become years, and seconds of proof are all you gain. Yet through static, a strange cadence murmurs, almost speaking back. The forest listens with you.
2 steps out. Look at the height of this fella.
Some truths hide not in sight but in sound, waiting for someone brave enough to answer the voice beneath the trees. Sometimes the sea keeps its secrets too close to shore. A group walking the sand slows when ripples move against the current. The water parts just enough to reveal something pale and still. Every step forward feels heavier than sound.
A group of men were enjoying a leisurely afternoon by the shores of Mexico when they suddenly noticed a strange creature in the water.
Beneath the surface, 2 eyes glisten, wide and knowing. A long snout lifts, smooth skin rippling like silk. Its body flattens with the tide, tail sliding through silt. It resembles a seal, but stranger, softer, almost deliberate. No one dares breathe.
The creature was...
Maybe the ocean remembers faces it once created, letting them rise for a moment before erasing them again. Beyond the backyard hedge, laughter drifts across the grass. A child crouches near the tall plants, giggling at a shape half hidden in the green. Pale skin, long arms, black hair, not quite human, not entirely shadow. The leaves whisper.
Dad, look at Carly!
Get up here, Carly!
Then a familiar call comes from the porch. The child stops, turns, and runs toward the voice. The father steps closer, brushing aside the plants. Nothing moves, no trace, no prints. Only still stems and air holding the quiet too tightly.
The hell was that?
Odd how silence can weigh heavier than sound, as if it hides something breathing just beyond what eyes recall. Out in a quiet field, the night hums low. A camera clicks on, its lens glowing faintly in green. For a moment, nothing moves. Then the grass parts slightly, like breath taken in too quietly, waiting for something to appear. A pale figure crawls across the frame, thin and long-limbed, moving on all fours. Its movements seem careful, uneven, almost searching. The image wavers, catches its shape once more, then loses it to the dark. The field grows still again. Strange how machines see what eyes should not, yet still never tell if what's moving out there is real. Along a quiet stretch of road, a cyclist moves with a steady rhythm. Trees line the edges, leaves stirring faintly in the breeze. The tires hum against the ground, a soft pattern of motion and calm. Everything feels ordinary, almost still.
Параллельно снять все на видео, чтобы поделиться этим в своем блоге. Но придя домой и начав отсматривать материал, он ужаснулся. Все то время, что парень...
Then behind, a tall shape shifts between the trees. It moves slowly, upright, its outline blurred against the green. For a moment, it walks along the road's edge before fading back into stillness, leaving no trace behind at all.
На велосипеде, всего в нескольких сотнях метров от него находился Слендермен.
There's a kind of quiet that follows such sights, not from peace, but from the sense that something was watching. Somewhere in the woods, two kids are playing among the trees. Their laughter drifts through the branches, light and careless. Twigs snap under their shoes, and the air hums with stillness. One stops, eyes fixed ahead, hand lifting toward the distance.
Come on, guys.
What's that, Dad?
Through the trees, a figure moves. Tall, pale, quick. It runs, leaps, vanishes behind the trunks like breath swallowed by the forest. The sound fades, leaving the woods empty again. No rustle, no trace. Only still air where motion once lived.
Let's go back inside. Come on, guys.
Quiet sometimes keeps its secrets well, holding what eyes can find but truth cannot, somewhere just beyond sight. Picture someone walking through a forest, phone raised to capture the quiet. Leaves shift, light filters through the branches. Each step sounds soft and steady, nothing out of place. The lens drifts across moss, bark, open air, then it ends. Hours later, replaying the footage, a shape flashes behind a tree. Pale, still, watching. It vanishes before the next frame. The forest feels different now, heavier, familiar. He rewinds, pauses, but nothing changes. Strange how the eye can miss what memory refuses to keep. A moment trapped between seconds, breathing in the dark until seen again, too late to forget. Imagine standing before a shattered tree, bark torn open as if by force. Perched high above, a figure sits unmoving. The wind barely touches it, and the forest feels caught between breath and silence. Something waits. Something knows it's seen. The camera zooms, trembling, and there it is. Eyes fixed, unblinking, a dark shape against the pale sky. No sound, no movement, just stillness that stretches thin. Each second feels longer than time itself. Then the lens drifts down. It's gone. Some say the trees remember what people forget, their broken branches marking what eyes weren't meant to find again soon. What if a long drive down an empty road turned quiet all at once? The headlights cut through the dark, showing only dust and branches. The hum of the engine steadies the air until, at the fork, something crosses. Small, slow, deliberate. Its shadow moves within the beam, body slight, limbs thin. Not an animal nor a person. It stops, turns its head, then continues forward, vanishing where the light fades. The road grows empty again, like nothing had passed at all. Maybe the night keeps what the headlights reveal, storing it between the trees until someone else takes that turn again. Some say the forest never reveals its secrets by chance. A camera left running captures only quiet. fallen trunks, scattered leaves, and drifting light. Nothing moves, nothing calls. The stillness feels whole until something shifts in the distance.
Okay, throwing trees around. Look at it close up right here. As you can see, it's all black.
Behind the fallen trees, a dark shape lifts itself. Huge, heavy, covered in hair. Its outline fills the frame, upper body rising slowly, unmoving. For seconds, it just stares, silent, deliberate, aware. The camera never pans. The forest holds its breath.
You can even see its face. Look at its nose right there. You see it?
Some believe the forest itself watched that moment, trapping it inside the frame, waiting quietly for another wanderer to set it free. Legends often begin with water. From a mountain's edge, a camera pans across a quiet river winding through the valley. Then beneath the surface, something moves, vast, smooth, carving white streaks as it glides upstream. The water folds around it like silk. The figure never breaks the surface, its outline shifting beneath ripples. Too long for driftwood, too deliberate for debris. Some say it swims with purpose, tracing the river's bends as if returning home. No one speaks when it passes. Rumor says the valley still hides it, drifting below the mist, waiting for the current to call it back. It begins with stillness. A man walks through the woods, camera steady, filming the quiet. The leaves stir faintly, branches tangled above. Then something catches his eye, movement, distant, small. He stops, zooms in, adjusting the focus toward a shape behind a tree. There, between bark and shadow, a dark figure stands half concealed. Its head shifts slightly, the outline broad, almost human. The camera trembles for a moment, zoom tightening, and just as it seems to focus, the figure retreats behind the trunk. Some claim the lens caught more than a shadow, something waiting, still watching from that same tree. They say trouble comes quiet. Outside, a person works beneath the open dark, fixing something small, tools clinking softly in the dirt. The night hums, still. Then movement. A snake slides past their foot. The person jumps, curses, runs, fear breaking the silence. Ahead, where the ground dips, something waits. A black figure, tall, unshaped, like a shadow-given form. It jerks forward, sudden, wrong. The person screams, spins, running back the other way, breath sharp, steps uneven. Others claim it wasn't chasing, just waiting in the dark, where fear turns back on itself, echoing in dirt, air, and eyes unseen. No one expects company on an empty road. Two men stop their motorcycle, engines low, eyes fixed ahead. In the distance, something crawls, slow, deliberate, too human in shape, too wrong in motion. The men stare, whisper, unsure if it sees them. Then another shape rises, and another, pale limbs, long, low to the ground. The men start the engine, gravel scattering. Behind them, the figures burst into motion, chasing, crawling, arms dragging through the dust. Some believe they weren't chased at all, only followed home, where the night stayed quiet. But the walls began to creak like crawling things. They say it began as a test of patience. A man focused his spotting telescope on a white ridge of the Wasatch Mountains. For minutes, nothing moved. Then a dark figure broke from the tree line, running fast through deep snow.
We were sent the following footage by a person that goes by John. It was filmed on one of the mountain peaks along the Wasatch Front mountain range. The guys that filmed it were down in the valley, 4,200 feet elevated.
Its size dwarfed the nearby pines, stride wide, heavy, confident. No trail, no pause, just motion against the wind. The man adjusted the lens, hands trembling. The creature climbed higher, snow spraying beneath each step. Others later claimed it was just light and shadow, but the man swore he saw a breath rise from its mouth, steaming in the cold air. Deep in the woods of Russia, two men wandered through the trees, camera rolling. The stillness carried only their steps and the wind brushing the leaves. Then one lifted a hand, pointing towards something ahead. The lens followed. Out from the distance, a humanoid shape emerged, hopping once, crossing the frame in silence. It vanished behind the tree line, its form swallowed by shadow. The men stood frozen, uncertain what they'd seen. Some later argued it was a trick of light, but the clip remained frame by frame, showing the figure's leap clear and deliberate, lost again into the woods. From a quiet home's doorway, a Ring camera blinked its red light. The frame held only a stretch of yard, dim and still. Then movement flickered at the edge. A figure crossed, thin, wrong-shaped, and fleeting. Its head stretched long above the shoulders, gait uneven, arms hanging low. The lens caught only seconds before the figure slid out of view, fading into the dark. Nothing stirred after. Later, when the clip spread online, many paused at the frame's edge, where motion blurred into stillness, a moment that seemed to watch back, caught in low resolution, silent, pale, and passing, just once. Locals in Alaska once watched a river that ran colder than steel. The water moved slow, smooth, until a shape broke its surface, long, dark, and shifting. A camera followed, unsteady. Ripples rolled outward, marking something alive.
Strange sighting in Alaska has a lot of people scratching their heads this morning. Take a look. An Alaska Bureau of Land Management worker in Fairbanks was checking out the ice on Wednesday when he saw this.
The thing slithered against the current, its motion smooth as rope in water. Each rise showed length not seen before, nearly 30 feet. No head, no fins, just motion and chill. Then nothing.
Something moving up the river. Now, this video was posted to the Bureau's Facebook page. They admitted they're not sure exactly what it is. Then they added,
Years later, the clip still stirs whispers of something old, restless, and patient. Beneath the ice, it might still move, unseen, in currents that hide more than they reveal. It starts as a quiet stream, the kind meant to share small moments. Wind hums, branches sway, and laughter fills the air. Then he spots movement high in a tree. Curious, he lifts the camera toward a hollow. Nothing, then something.
Wow,
This the spot. Nah, come back out.
I feel it in the water.
Why you be peeking like that?
I feel it in the earth.
Peek it.
A small pale shape peeks from the hole, still as bark. Its form twitches, then vanishes back inside, swallowed by shadow. He waits, laughing nervously, phone held tight. Nothing moves again. The wind grows louder.
Alright, so look, let me know. I'm gonna let this stay. Just let me know if y'all think I should try
Much
to
that once was
maybe I'll come
is
to
lost.
or something.
The world is changing.
Later, when he replays the footage, the hollow looks deeper, darker, as if something inside still listens, waiting for another curious voice to call. From a quiet garden, the CCTV records another still night. Wind brushes leaves, a faint hum fills the air. Then at the far end of the neighbor's yard, a spark of light flickers once, too steady to be an insect. The small orb hangs in the dark, then begins to rise, cutting through the air in one smooth motion. It climbs higher, brightens, and darts toward the lens faster than the camera can focus. Then nothing, only static hums. To this day, some replay the footage, claiming the light wasn't light at all, but something with form, watching, before vanishing. Deep in the Congolese forest, a lone trail camera watches the night. Insects hum, mist rolls between the trunks. Then movement breaks the frame. A colossal figure trudging through the brush, its shape immense, its form unlike any known animal. It moves forward, steady and sure, the ground trembling faintly beneath each step. The camera strains against the darkness, catching glimpses of rough skin and the shifting bulk between the trees. Then silence returns, as if the forest itself is holding its breath. By dawn, they find prints too wide, too deep to name, and whispers rise again of Moklambembe. Sometimes the quiet places hide the loudest truths. Juan Carlos lives beside an old graveyard, its gates rusted, its earth uneven. One night he films movement near the headstones, two shapes clawing up from the soil, crouched, feeding on something unseen.
Mi gente, miren, miren ahí. Miren lo que acabo de...
The footage shakes as he zooms in, his breath caught in the cold air. The forms move quickly, bending, tearing, their outlines human yet not. They vanish back into the grave from which they came, leaving the ground wet and still.
Decatad. Miren. Ahí. ¿Vieron lo que salió de ahí? Miren.
Some say the earth never sleeps there, and that each night something remembers hunger beneath the stones of the dead. Picture walking through a narrow gap between two houses, flashlight trembling in your hand. The air feels heavy, the ground damp. Then something moves, small, low, and crawling. Four limbs press into the dirt, its shadow twitching against the wall.
الضعفاء حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل.
The creature stays still for a heartbeat, then begins to lift its neck. It stretches upward, slow, deliberate, impossibly long, as if testing the air. Its skin catches the light, pale, thin, almost smooth. You take one step back, not daring to breathe.
لا 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 والله يا جماعة مني بايع عمري أنا والله يا جماعة مني بايع عمري.
Others claim the space between homes hides more than forgotten things, that sometimes something silent remembers to rise. Somewhere beyond the rusted gates, a small shape sits on the ground, unmoving at first. The camera shifts, focusing on what looks like a figure, small, crooked, and still. Then slow, deliberate motions begin, its arms lifting, dropping, over and over. The face catches a glint of light, revealing features too sharp, too wrong. It stares downward, as if tracing something unseen in the dirt. No sound escapes, only the rhythm of its hands rising and falling. The gate behind it never moves. Few dare to guess what it was, but some still whisper that things small and ancient sit where no one looks. A car winds through a narrow road somewhere deep in the Appalachians, headlights cutting through thick dark. The driver hums softly until the beam catches something ahead, a tall shape walking at the very edge of the light. It doesn't stop. Step by step, it moves with an uneven rhythm, slow but certain, almost drifting. The figure passes across the beam, turning the light thin and broken for a moment. Then it fades beyond the reach of sight, swallowed whole by the trees. They say these mountains remember every traveler, and sometimes something walks back along the road to see. Somewhere in a grassy clearing, a man steadies his camera on the ground. The lens tilts toward a wide impression pressed deep into the dirt, twice the length of his boot. The grass bends around it, heavy and still.
And right over here is whenever I started to lose sight of it. Now, I don't know if it is a footprint, but...
He speaks softly, explaining the height of what he saw, arm raised far above his head. His tone shifts between fear and wonder, the wind brushing through the grass.
It's pretty fucking high. So, its eyes was level with that, which is probably...
Later, reviewing the footage, he mutters under his breath, "I think I met him." The image shakes, but the print stays, quiet, unmoved, waiting beneath the sun. Nothing else stirs, not even the wind. Some say a creature was seen perched above the trees in a quiet Toulouse neighborhood. From a window, a camera catches two faint lights hovering above the leaves, unmoving, steady, and cold. They say the cries came first, long before the eyes appeared that night. Neighbors watched from their balconies, unsure if it was an animal or something else. The shape never moved, never blinked. Some thought it guarded the tree. Others believed it waited for dawn. None went closer. By morning, the eyes were gone, and the street fell silent again, as if nothing had watched atop that tree. They once thought it was just a stray, coming for food each night. But the camera tells a different story. A cat steps from the shadows, moves with quiet intent, and stops beneath the moonlight. The caption reads, "Turns out it's a spirit." On the pavement, it stands still, ears twitching, head turning slowly. Its movements look careful, guarded, as if it fears being seen. Then without a sound, it sprints toward the road and vanishes mid-stride, leaving nothing behind. They say it still returns, not for food, but for duty, keeping watch when the world sleeps too deeply.